Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Cyclist Tactics, episode number 10. After a successful first season, highly successful, thanks to our final race of the year with a superb rating, let's go ahead and start the new season and see what happens. All right, so after some base setup for the new season, there's still a little more work to do, a little tweaking, but I'll show you that process here in a moment. We've only added one new rider as we have 5 returning riders: Ward, Pavlov. We're going to make a bigger effort to try to get them to level up this season. And then Campbell, my character, Ortega, who it shows red, so I'm assuming that means he's retiring at the end of this year. It does show in the birthday thing that after age 29, there's an escalating chance of retiring after the upcoming season. So I'm assuming red means that. But on our scouting list, there's two 23-year-old riders down here that are also showing red. Maybe they're just retiring because they don't have quality, but looking at that potential of 8, I was actually kind of excited by the prospect, especially of Niels Arnold. A 2-8, already 1 climbing point, 90 on the stamina, okay on the recovery. I mean, that was a pretty fantastic start. Well, anyway, the one rider we've added is Lewis Howard, 6 of 8, 24 years of age, 1 on the sprint, 2 on the technical, 2 on the cobbles. His problem is he's not much of a stage racer. It's more of a classics rider, and that makes sense actually based on the profile. Good stamina. Per turn's only 6 though, that's slightly worrying, but he's got plenty of attack energy to burn to keep him in place. And that combination of 109 points is really going to set him apart on those one-day classic style, especially the ones with the cobbles. I think he could do quite well and earn us a lot of points under those circumstances, especially if you give him a bit of a lead out with some other riders. He is spendy, but looking at our current makeup, we have somebody to play with, and we're going to come back to that here in just a moment. From the race selection calendar, right now we have 2 vacancies. We have 2 months on the calendar that we have nothing selected. That is April, that is August, that is a chance for recovery for our riders, but we don't necessarily have to do that. We might actually look to doing more for a couple reasons, and you'll see why here in just a second. But the sponsor goals and the finances obviously combine to make up what it is we have to do for the year. We've been able to jump our funding by 2 levels now to poor. Still not good, but up to poor makes a huge difference. Our focus can be either national, international, or some sort of combination. I found that travel costs are way more when you have the international races. So if we focus more regularly on national races, one, it's not impacting our funding at all. It just impacts what our sponsor, which specific races the sponsor is interested in. So for me, it seems smart to go with a national focus, have a few more races domestic that are cheaper, and therefore we could stretch our budget further. Well, then you bump up expectations to high like we did a season ago. Of course, it puts a lot more constraint on this. Under 470, we lower the budget. We did more than that last season anyway. I mean, we were in the high 5s. We have one significantly improved rider this year. 745 is definitely asking more. We have the same guys back otherwise, so how would you expect us to do significantly more than we did? But here's the thing. At the moment, there's a huge balance left. I don't necessarily need to push the expectations to high. So there's 2 things that I can do here, because I can't bring in more riders unless I fire some of the current guys and then bring in a better replacement, which is certainly an option. That's not what's on my mind. My mind is still about development long term, and those are the guys with the potential. I'd like to get them in the squad because while we have to be patient to get them to level up, I now have a bit of an understanding on how to do that, and that is get them involved in more races. More races means more prestige anyway, which means we make that mark a little bit easier and continue to boost our funding in future seasons. We have money to play with for the travel. The salaries are already taken care of. It's all just about travel. So if you see where I'm going with this, we have 2 months that we can fill. I think we're going to put that one on the calendar. it's shorter anyway. I like the idea of a one-stage race with this one, flat length, Ellsbury Cup, and home race. Definitely. All right. Now, that pushes the travel a bit higher. It does. And we're not done yet anyway, because we have to now assign some riders. The other thing I've done is, you can see I've now put 4 riders into all of the races. So all of the races actually have 4 riders, so they can get experience. Gives us more team support. See, having a little more money makes a huge difference. All right, I think we have 2 obvious choices in the young guys. These races aren't going to matter as much. They're not sponsor objectives, so we want to get them out there. Now, this one, I believe, had a cobbled stage. So, Howard, I don't know if this has an impact. I think this does, right? I don't want him racing on that day. That doesn't mean he can't race all the other days. And speaking of, I think that makes our selection here easy, even though totally flat, sprinter missing out. Maybe it's actually better to have him there anyway. So let's get rid of Ortega off of that. Let's put him there, even though he might struggle a little bit. He'll still probably do better than most of the field because he's going to have bonuses. Same there. Put Campbell in it. And now we've got 4 at every. And we still have a balance. We have a team with a focus, with a goal, with an objective, things that I want to see happen from that team. Then we've got the ability to give them all sorts of experience and development and all of those good things, and yet we still have money to play with. So now all we have to do is we can lower the expectations, and the balance is still totally fine. And now we only need 431 points for the season to get our max evaluation and raise our funding for next year. So wasn't that easy? Wasn't that easy? Still money to play with. I like it. I'll take it. Let's do this. I still want to develop a team. I want to know what that's like. I want that challenge. I don't want to suddenly go out and hire the best riders, which, well, honestly, we can't really hire the best riders anyway, because this is our list of choices. I could bring in Frank Albrecht, who's already 27, but I'd have to hire one of these, or fire one of these guys, young 18 high potential guys. We have the highest potential guys other than Ortega, but I need to get some results right now. So Ortega is there to give us some results where we need it, to get the prestige where we need it. But otherwise, I have a team that I'm now happy with 5/6 of, and we'll look for one more to make that 6 out of 6 that I'm happy with going forward. And then we've got a team to develop, and we'll have some room to play with these things in future seasons as well, most likely, unless we see that development happen quite rapidly. Let's go ahead and get into the first race of the season. I think we're all set. I'm happy with this setup. Let's get on with it. 10 teams for this opening race. Quite a few lower ranked teams. I mean, we're looking at 17th and below. We're not in last compared to last season. We've got 4 riders. Everybody else brought similar, but our top guy is a 5. Everybody else has 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. We're not in the top 9 favorites at all. So honestly, we're looking at a result where we'd probably be happy with a top 10 in this one. Let's see if we can make that happen. Right off the bat, we see a push to get over this first hill, and I think that's the smart move, as the majority of the riders are headed right that direction. Alright, I'm going to use my 2 leaders to go here. Split our chances, put the bulk in this group. But 8 is a decent amount of riders. Oh, those 3 that missed that first move. Theo Walter among them. Who was a high finisher a season ago, falling way, way behind. Remember, this is just the first climb of 3. You could absolutely lose it on this first climb, but you can't win it on this first climb. There's Howard's limitation of 5. That's going to hurt us. That is going to hurt us a bit. Sometimes following along at high tempo is going to hurt, especially on the climbs. So today could be a more difficult day for him than other days that we'll see. So it fell a bit easier on the flat than he will on a climb, and climbs are going to use a lot of attack energy for him to keep up with a group. So he's definitely not the type of rider to attack on the climb itself. Oh, big splits in the group, that's not good. Follow the majority. And here's a big split in the peloton. Meanwhile, 5 here. Pavlov can make it. There's Howard using up 3 more attack energy, but he's hanging in there in the majority group. 20 there, but we're definitely seeing that first big split. With the undulation, it's hard to go backwards, to allow yourself to go backwards. I feel like you're kind of forced into a following move. It's going to be dangerous. We're going from the hill straight into the climb. I think we'll be pushing into that 6 zone after this. Oof, up to 16. I can't go with the move. I can't make it up there to the current peloton. We only have 3 attack energy left. So we are going to see ourselves fall off the back on this one. So go where we can without doing too much damage. Pavlov's okay. Get Pavlov up there. Howard. Oof, that is going to hurt. But if he's going to be in contention, he's got to be up there. Ortega, his best chance is gaining an advantage on the climbs, so we want to follow that move. Pavlov. No advantages anywhere. I mean, he's just a level 1 guy. That's a pretty big move for him to try to keep pace. I think we want to go a little more conservative. Same for Howard. Remember, there's still another climb to come. So let's let Ortega have the small group. Oh, that just became the big group. Awfully quick. Awfully quick there. Meanwhile, I am able to regain contact with these guys. I like that there's 7 here, though, and no attack energy used, so let's take that one. Okay, Pavlov can't quite get us there, but he can get us up to about here. Does hurt Howard a little bit. Howard could make it all the way up there, but that leaves him just 4 left, so no, follow the majority rule. No, that's only 1 rider. Make that 9 riders. Come on. Okay, they are giving us a second chance to regain. And my character can go as far as here. Ortega, the climbing ability, giving him a chance. The descending ability, giving him a chance. Howard, we'll see. I think this is taking a little too much out of Howard. The length is crazy. It's 4:27. This is a very, very long stage. There is some resting going on, so this could be an opportunity to get back on, but by missing going over the top, it's going to be a difficult ask. Okay, we can get a 14 by using up 5. I think that's probably the way to go from here. That's going to give us that small chance of getting back on. Oh, push onto the hill. That's surprising. That's 6. That's 8. But that would be a 0. And that's a 5. I mean, lose 2, essentially, okay? 10 free nodes, right? And that's 8 ahead. So our free nodes essentially get us to here. We use 5 energy or 0 energy. So I think we can make up the 2 energy. Easy. I mean, our free movement is to here. Their free movement is to here. So we're 2 nodes behind. Takes 2 extra. But what about the slipstream effect? Right? I mean, looking at this. Slipstream is maybe gaining 1. Oh. Follow the move. Follow the move. Go down the rabbit hole. Don't want to lose the group. It's the last climb. Aye, Pavlov, out of energy. Pavlov, go ahead and take the risk move and we'll just see how good it is. Can't make the 10, so I suppose we'll have to go for the 9. Can't believe there's still 32 riders left. I'm already down to 2. AI is really strong in this race. Remember, looking at the team profiles, we were way behind everybody else. We were going to be lucky to get a top 10 today. And I'm definitely seeing that. I mean, we've seen my character struggle. We haven't seen him struggle this much this early. And boom, field blows up just like that. 2 off the front. 1 here. 2 here. That might be our place to be. We have enough energy. No, we... this is gonna hurt. Okay, follow the slightly larger group. Okay, meanwhile, we need to follow a slightly larger group here. Save some energy. Howard still has stuff, but not stuff. If you get what I'm saying. Okay, that's not going to help. That's actually 1 better. I'm learning. We still have 14 energy. I think getting over the climb is going to make a bigger impact. Maybe we follow one guy here and hope that on the next turn that's going to do something for us. Ooh, 3 riders making it over the top. Ortega's not. Ortega is definitely not. And he can't make this group either. So I suppose we're going to have to take what this gives us. He is a good descender after all, so he'll get a chance to regain some. Peloton's completely blown up here. So there's 3, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12th place to there. And Ortega is a bit too far back. Really essential to get over the top, but Howard can't do it. So 3 and 7, that's the top 10. There's 11th place. And then we're in a battle it out for 12th scenario here. For Ortega, this is big recovery. Plus he still has some attack energy. 3 moving up. Okay, let's do it. That's not going to become the attack. I don't know if he still gets the recovery or not. We'll have to see if he has energy again. Lucas Frank. Really, Frank takes the win. We've been following Frank all last season. Really surprised by that one. Okay, Ortega. That would take everything he's got left and would allow us to push ahead of the group, or we save it for the finish line. We've already had 9 cross. We're not beating those 3, so no, we're not going to get a top finish. Or we could just sprint it out against this group. Take the far move. Get what you can get. I should have just pushed up with Howard because he could do more. Pavlov finally over the top. And just as I said, I was not going to make it to the 6. I'm starting to track how the movement goes a little bit better after one complete season, understanding what we have, what we're capable of, each rider. But things vary as you get bonuses. Pavlov's easy, he has no bonuses. He's a 0 in everything. Ortega's gonna miss the finish line. Next turn. No points today, we didn't make the top 10. As I said, we missed out on the top 10, and actually we missed out by a decent margin. Just 16th for Ortega. Howard was 23rd, could not handle the climbs. Pavlov actually did pretty well for a level 1. 28th overall. My character just blew up down in 35th. Remember, we did expend a little bit of energy early on by getting a couple riders into the break, Ortega among them. I think I hurt both my character and Ortega's chances in doing so. That one did not work out. Last time, of course, we found some moves that did work out in our favor. For me, the huge mistake was not seeing how many nodes the race was, how long the race was, until we were already a third of the way into the stage, and then went, oh, this thing's crazy long. If I had seen that, I would have not attacked with those 2. I would have stayed with the group. But so often I've been worried about getting left behind, and we've seen it work out shorter stages. But you know, all in all, it's not that bad because we're right behind Gross. Christian Gross was 15th, so we know he's a good rider. We saw the field. We know it was full of good riders. It's okay. It's okay. It'll happen. We're not going to win them all, but no prestige on this one. Not the start we wanted to the season, but it's okay. We've got plenty of season ahead of us. It's still going to be worth some XP, so I'll take it. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.